The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
Around 1970, Noach Weinberg made Eish HaTorah. When he started, everybody was very skeptical. The only one that really backed him was Rabbi Shach. All the other Gedolim and Rabbanim and Rosh Yeshivas, they were very skeptical. Make a yeshiva for Balei Tshuva. It's never going to happen. What are you hacking? And you want to raise money from Klal Yisrael for such a thing? But Rav Shach told him, go and raise money and make it, and it's going to be Gavaldik. So he came to America to collect money. His brother was an Eidim by Rav Ruderman, the Rosh Yeshiva of Baltimore. So he came to his brother, and he asked his brother, listen here, I need money. Can you give me names, addresses of Gvirim? So he gave him a whole list. He went collecting, and he went to one of the places he went was to a nursing home. He came in to speak to the owner, and he sees that the owner is terribly depressed. So he goes over to him and he says, listen, hey, I'm collecting from my yeshiva. Said the other, but let me ask you something. Why do you look so down? Why are you so depressed? He says, I'm having such a problem, I don't know what to do. He says, what's the problem? He says, we recently took in a 90-year-old lady into the nursing home. And she's a Yid. Now, in my nursing home, I have a lot of Yidden. All the Yidden get kosher food. I'm not allowed to feed a Yid tray for food. And all the Goyim, they get tray for food. We have 2 kitchens. And the Goyim's kitchen makes treif. And we give all the Goyim their suppers. And the Yidden get their own suppers. They get different food. Now this 90-year-old lady saw or schmoozed with her roommate, the Chveis, and she found out that they had cheeseburgers for supper. She wants cheeseburgers. She's demanding cheeseburgers. Shah chutzpah, you gave my friend and him. Why? Because I'm Jewish? You're discriminating against the Jews? And she was going to go and sue him in court to get it. So he didn't know what to do. He offered her to hire a private chef to make her special food, what she likes, special, that he shouldn't do it. Because in those days, there was no protection. I think today you can get away with it, but in those days, they could close him down. He could lose his whole nursing home. And he didn't know what to do. Anyways, Noach Weinberg told him that he's going to daven for him, Hashem should help him. He gave him a donation, and he went away. He went on his way. A year later, Noach Weinberg came back. And Noach Weinberg goes to visit this guy again. And he sees the guy is so happy, he's dancing, he's so excited. So he tells him, what happened now? He says, Baruch Hashem, everything's good. He says, what happened with the 90-year-old lady? She died? You daven that she should die? He says, no. He says, so why don't you have a problem with her anymore? He says, because she's not fighting me anymore. He says, why not? Why is she not fighting you? He says, because she's from. So what do you mean she's from? Yeah, she became from. How did she become from? What do you mean, how? I made her a Baal Tshuva, a Baal Tshuva. He says, how did you make her a Baal Tshuva? He says, I'll tell you. I was up the creek. I was against the wall. I didn't have what to do. I had no eitzah. My lawyers told me, throw in the towel, just serve her a stupid cheeseburger. And I'm a from a Yid, I couldn't. So the only eitzah I came up with was, make the lady from and she won't fight you. And that's what happened. One more story. And with that we'll end. Rabbi Noach Weinberg was in yeshiva one day, in Eish HaTorah, and suddenly Rabbi Meir Schuster walks in. He picked up a boy, an intelligent fellow, by the Kaisel, and he brought him to Rabbi Noach, and he says, Rabbi Noach, I met this fine lad, would you take him into your yeshiva? So Rabbi Noach spoke to him, and Rabbi Noach said, yeah. He was Jewish, and he wanted to study about Judaism, and he wanted a commitment that he's going to stay there for at least a month. And he said, yeah. And he stayed there for a month, and he steiged, and he grew, and he learned about Yiddishkeit. And after about 2 months, he tells Rabbi Noach he has to go back to America. So Rabbi Noach asks him, what's the emergency? He says, no, it's private, I can't tell you. Rabbi Noach says, listen here, don't give me this private. What am I going to do? So if I know your secret, what do you care? I'll help you. So he broke down and he said, listen, I'll tell you the truth. I am a chess champion. I play on these championships. and I get scholarships, and I make a lot of money, and I'm a knaka in chess. And now they have the tournaments, and I got to go back and play. So Rabbi Noach tells him, listen here, I'm going to make you a deal. I'm going to play you a game of chess. If you win, you say you're a good chess player, right? If you win, I pay for your ticket back to America. But if I win, you stay here. So, the guy, he says, listen here. Rabbi Weinberg is a smart man. 48 ways to wisdom. He knows a lot of Judaism. What does he know about chess? I'm a professional. I'm going to wipe him out in 3 moves. Deal. I'm asking. Shine. So they went and they got a hold of a chessboard with the pieces, and they started a game of chess. And Rabbi Noach Weinberg played him, and after an hour, Rabbi Noach made a move, and it was checkmate. And the guy was breaking his head, and he couldn't get out of it. It was taka checkmate. And the guy says, a deal's a deal, I'm staying. 30 years later, the guy's at Rosh Hashiva today. He met Rabbi Noach Weinberg, and he tells Rabbi Noach, he says, you know what? Something's been bothering me for the last 30 years. Tell me, were you also a champion in the tournaments of chess? He says, no. He says, how did you make such a deal with me? He says, when was the last time you played chess before you played with me? He said, the last time before I played with you, I think I was 11 years old. He says, so how did you win me? So Rabbi Noach Weinberg said, because I had no choice. Because if I didn't win you, you would have gone back to America and you would have been fried till today. I had no choice. I saw you're a future Rosh Hashiva. How could I let you go back to America? I had no choice. And when someone has no choice, he'll do the impossible. And that's why I played chess and I had Siyata D'Shmaya and I won you. Because I had no choice. Because I was backed up against the wall.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org